Okay, let's go over PokeMMO population. This is just my opinion and just my feelings based on GTL listings, based on how fast the market moves, and based on like how many PvP games are played and being stuff like that. We don't have actual statistics on the player-based numbers in PokeMMO. A lot of it's just based on guesstimations, based on other factors and the numbers we can see, like the ones I talked about. So let's go ahead and call this, let's start our graph, okay, by doing 2021. And I feel like this is an important, like this thicker. This is an important starting point. So a lot of players, I think the last 3 years or so have been insane for PokeMMO. And I feel like starting at, God, I'm so bad at writing. Starting at 2021 is super important, okay? So if we have our graph, let's just do it like this. No. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this, okay? So we'll start our line down here, okay? And this is 2021, okay? This is where we're at, okay? 2021. Game is, I'm trying to think. The last region that had come out was in 2019, which was Sinnoh, I believe. So we were waiting for, I'm trying to think back. I think that's correct. We were waiting for Johto still at this point. And we're like, we're 2 years post Sinnoh. Haven't really seen a whole lot of content. Not really much going on. Game's in a, not a dying position. PokeMMO's always historically gotten a lot of new players, but it's kind of stagnant. It bleeds a lot of players and it gets a lot of players, so it's kind of stagnant, right? And then I start making videos and content, and I post my Shiny Shuckle reaction, as well as a lot of other creators start doing more stuff, right? So we start slowly trickling up, okay? Slowly trickling up. And then let's say we reach 2021 event season. We kind of get like a pretty big boost, right? And then 2021 event season kind of dies off. People take a break. Pretty normal. Let's say this is 2022. This is the start of 2022, okay? Event season gets kind of quiet. You know, January, yada, yada. We go back down, okay? Now we kind of flatline, okay? Well, then we get 2022 event season. And this was much bigger than 2020. My YouTube analytics were pretty crazy. Much bigger. Huge boost. Huge boost. I'm talking massive. Like probably, yeah, like double like this, right? Okay. This is 2022 event season, right? So now okay, event season kind of happens, comes to a close. Okay. Tank off pretty hard. People are kind of bored. Where's Johto? LMAO. Kind of flatline again. We stagnate, okay? We stagnate a bit more. And now, let's say 2023 starts here, okay? 2023, a lot of people are waiting for Johto, so they're kind of frustrated. But man, do we start getting updates, okay? Pretty early in the year, we get a nice PC and GTL UI overhaul. I think a lot of people come back. That's huge. But then it's a PC GTL UI overhaul, really nice update. People kind of fall off, kind of go back down like this. And then we get more updates, we get more things. What do we get? Was this also, I guess the 10th anniversary event or whatever was also in 2022, I believe. That was like the 10th anniversary event was like this. The 10th anniversary event, people do not realize, was actually insane. My YouTube analytics were ridiculous for that. Let's say like this. This is actually let's we erase. Here we go. So that's actually more like 2022. Okay. And now we have, okay, 2023. Well, then if that was like this, then this is more here. Let's do, we gotta fix our graph. Apologies. Wouldn't have gone this low. Gotta adjust things. Apologies. Would have been like this. Okay, sure. And then 2023, we start getting gradual content. We reach higher peaks than event season of 2022, just without Johto in 2023, okay? And then in like September, August, whatever, we get Johto. And I'm not joking, Johto looks like this. To the moon, okay? Johto is fucking crazy. And not only does Johto look like this, Johto progressively manages to hold players and go up for like a few weeks. Arguably 2 to 3 months. Or sorry, let's say 1 month. Because then, after 1 month, I'm not going to lie, after 1 month, the 2080 horde split happens. A lot of people quit. They're mad. They're not happy about it. A lot of those players quit for about a week or two. Some quit forever. A lot come back. There we go. We're about here, okay? So this is 2023. We get event season. Event season for 2023, it wasn't great. We see a small player rise. Then we see it kind of drop. events are not great. It kind of dies off. Lunar New Year event was kind of like way down, actually. I need more space. Lunar New Year event becomes, let's see if I can add to this. Does this zoom in? What happened? Oh no. Let's zoom out. Okay, we zoom out, boys. We add more. Perfect. Beautiful. We do it live. Okie dokie. Okay, so you've got Johto. We'll even put a J here, okay? Johto. We've got Johto, right? This is Johto. And this is the 2080 Horde split. And then this is 2023 event season. It kind of weans off. It's not great. We kind of dip below. This is right. We kind of dip below. Let's look at a different thing for this. We kind of dip below anniversary event numbers for a sec, which is fair, right? So we dip below that. We come back down. Now, but then what is it? Upcoming in, I want to say February. Yeah. So then, but then we reach 2020. Let's go here. Let's do 2024. Right? Event season for 2023 was not great. It wasn't great, I'll be honest. But Raids comes out, and Raids is one of the most successful, even more so than Johto. I need more space. Most successful updates in Pokemon history. Everybody loves it. Veterans, casuals, every type of player loves Raids, right? It's off the screen. It's off the charts, boys. It's amazing. Raids is Pog. Every single day, there's server queues, Raids is packed for like the whole 2 weeks, etc., right? It's like literally off the charts, like probably, I can't even show you guys, but it's higher than Johto. That's what's like probably about this much higher than Johto. Like add this to it, okay? Okay, keep that in mind. Then, Raids come to a close. Let's just have it come over. Even though it lasted longer, this lasts like a few weeks or whatever. But let's have it come to a close. Raids come to a close. And then, I'm gonna be honest, this is where things kind of, let me see if I can zoom out more. 2024 has not been kind to us post Raids. We haven't really had much content. So this is where things become more of a steady downward slope. We do this steady downward slope until about here. It's probably about, no, we don't go down that far because we probably have around, we don't go that much lower than Johto. We go to around here, right? Yeah, that makes sense. So my guesstimate, we go to about here, right? And then Shiny Wars happens. And Shiny Wars is pretty exciting. A lot of controversy, a lot of excitement. Is it larger than Raids in terms of population? I don't know. That one's arguable. That one's tough to tell. Obviously, in terms of the total excitement, Raids versus Shiny Wars, Raids is obviously better. The problem is, not the problem, but like, do you see how like we're gradually picking up more players? What happens over like any successful game's history is like you start gradually picking up more players, and you're like, even though you'll drop off and you will lose players, you retain more. And that's what it's felt like for PokeMMO over the past like 4 years or so. We've constantly been like we're always on waves and balances, and what happens is, so we'll finish this draft or whatever. And I feel like, so we have a Shiny Wars. Shiny Wars is pretty huge. It kind of dies off. And then Shiny Wars kind of goes off a cliff because people are burnt. But we come back in. Honestly, not that many people are burnt. We're coming back up. Now we're getting ready for Halloween event. Now we're about here, right? So we're probably about, well, actually, let's be a little bit. We're probably more about, we tank off, but then come back up. We're probably about here right now, would be my guess, right? You guys can't even see. So like, in comparison to PokeMMO's history, our population count is amazing, in my opinion, right? But what happens is you have players, this is something I've noticed, right? We have players who started playing the game, new players start playing the game here, right? Up here. And then they get to like here, or even here, and they're like, oh my God, this game is dying, this game's dead. And it's like, well, no. You just didn't see this. You didn't see this huge spike. You're missing the context. And it's important to understand at what point you're joining the game and the history of it and to know all the context. PokeMMO, in my opinion, what we don't have, this is total guesstimation, so feel free to disagree. There's no facts here, really, for the most part. I've kind of logically deduced things based on statistics, GTL, PvP stats, my own YouTube analytics, I have access to that, so that changes things a little bit as well. This is how it's looked for me. This is what I feel like is a good representation of the PokeMMO player base over the past 4 years or so. I really feel like we are in a renaissance for the game, and I feel like we are only on the upwards. It's possible that we get no updates and or only bad updates, and the game just like slowly goes down, right? It's very possible, but there's nothing right now that should indicate that. I feel like we're only just in a positive state, and I feel like there's a lot of things to be frustrated about, like Wishing Stone and like raids not being out yet, etc., etc. There's also a lot of positive things to be excited for, like Wishing Stone and like raids. You know, like it's all perspective. So I think it's interesting. It's all perspective. It's all perspective. If you joined here and then you see this, you're like, your perspective is like, oh my god, game's dying, game sucks. But if your perspective, like me, is, you know, I started playing all the way, you know, off the camera, you know, 20 years ago. I'm old as bones. I'm basically dust at this point, right? Like, if you played here and you're still here today, your perspective is like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, this is, I'm just literally tears of joy. Like, PokeMMO has grown so much further than I could have ever anticipated, which is amazing. So it's all perspective, and it's important to keep in mind. I hope this little PokeMMO history lesson taught you guys something. Once again, not for sure factual, definitely just the perspective of a veteran player who's been playing the game since 2013. Thanks for watching.